Today I want to talk about Alabama and its angst over 11 a.m. kickoffs. Cry me a river. Oh, it's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folks? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, I want to talk about Alabama getting butthurt because they got an 11 a.m. kickoff for Southern Miss, USM, my mother's alma mater. Now, look, this became a thing because Bama's AD was tone deaf enough to put out statements saying, look, we don't like having 11 a.m. kickoffs, to which I went, Oklahoma's had 11,000 11 a.m. kickoffs. And you know what? Most Power 5 programs do because TV networks they don't really care whether or not you go to the game, okay? They care about the people watching the game on television. What they found is there are more people that are going to watch the game at 11 a.m. or noon from their couch in their pajamas on Saturday mornings than are going to fight traffic, going to pay for the ticket, and going to sit there without replay to watch a football game at 11 a.m. That's Central Standard Time. It's noon Eastern, and that's what we're talking about. So I went through it because, look, since 2014, which is when the SEC network launched, Bama has played 8 games total at noon. 2 of those have been conference title games, right? And they're not good ones either. They're Mississippi State and they're Arkansas. Other opponents they had at 11 a.m., Florida Atlantic, Kent State, Mercer, ULL, friggin' Citadel, and of course now Southern Miss. So 1, that's 8 games. 2, those games don't matter. Nobody's watching those. We're not going to give you an afternoon time slot or an evening time slot for friggin' ULL. Ain't going to happen. TV networks are not going to put up your team against friggin' Notre Dame and Georgia. There are much more. I want to watch Notre Dame and Georgia, okay? I don't want to have to sit there and wonder what Alabama's doing with Mercer. And you know, they actually want to show that game on television, and that's the reason why it's at noon. Again, you want millions of people watching Alabama, or do you want just a few people watching Alabama? All right, so you go to Oklahoma, who has played 11 a.m., 11:30 or noon kickoffs over the last friggin' 5 years, going back to 2014. And 8 of those have been conference games, games that matter, games that mean something to everybody involved. Now, when you're looking at this, it's K-State, it's Baylor, it's KU, it's West Virginia, it's Oklahoma State, it's Iowa State. All those games at home before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So while I understand your angst, Bama fans, I also think this is an all-time high of entitlement and tone deafness from you. But what else do we expect from a bunch of folks who would deign to believe that the networks are taking advantage of them because they don't want to show you beat up on Southern Miss, which is a Conference USA team, while the rest of us would like to watch Notre Dame and Georgia? Schedule somebody and stop whining about it. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about. And this goes back to Saban saying, hey, we don't think that anybody should ever schedule an FCS opponent. Oh yeah? Then stop doing it, right? Because I understand you're scheduling these games because there is no playoff. And I'm going to keep making this point over and over again. If we want to see better football games, if we don't want to watch Alabama play an outmatched team outside of the SEC, then we're going to have to put in a system that rewards, or at the very least does not penalize, great traditional powerful teams from playing great traditional powerful opponents. I want to see Oklahoma and Alabama. I know that series has been scheduled, but I'm going to be 45 when they decide to play that game. I'd like to see Oklahoma play Alabama and or Notre Dame and or Ohio State and or USC every year, right? Or at least rotate in and out. Used to have Nebraska as an every year thing, and then we had conference realignment, and now I got to wait until next year for the home and home of that team. And you know what? Nebraska might not even be that good. And I would really love for them to be good, but I'm not going to vote them into the preseason AP Top 25 after they go 4-8 the year before. I'm not that stupid. I would like to see Oklahoma play Florida. I would like to see Oklahoma play friggin' Washington, Oregon, again. These are games that come around like once in a generation, and they don't schedule them nearly enough. I wanted to see Oklahoma LSU in the worst way. That game ended up being LSU versus Texas, all right? I want to see better football games like everybody else, and I think that if you're seeing better football games, you have a bone to pick about whether or not that game is going to be broadcast at 11 a.m., 2:30, or 7 o'clock. However, you don't get to yell about it when you're going to beat up on the Golden Eagles in Hattiesburg, from Hattiesburg, in Tuscaloosa. You don't get to yell about it when you play ULL. You don't get to yell about it when you play Mercer. You don't get to yell about it when you play Florida Atlantic. Stop it. You look terrible. You look awful. And we all don't like you now. But we didn't like you before. All right, that's it for me.